Good afternoon and welcome. This is Helen Macmillan from Helen Macmillan Coaching, and I'm here with my co-host Matthew Gordon Martin, also of Helen Macmillan
Hello.
Coaching. And you're in the right place if you're here for the what's next, how clarity of purpose fuels your next level of fulfillment and success. And today we plan to cover why it's important to connect with and clarify your purpose, the difference between having a sense of purpose and clarity of purpose, and how purpose actually fuels sustainable success. So we want to hear from you real quick. Why are you here? What was it about this topic that was appealing to you right now? And if you just type it in the chat box, that's fine. You don't have to speak up. I know some people are shy. But we just kind of want to have an idea, like, why is this topic appealing to you? And while you're putting that in the chat box, we'll just tell you our purpose for having this conversation in this webinar. Right? For us, we recognize that people were feeling lost, untethered, fearful, off balance, uncertain, and we include ourselves in those people. We were feeling that too, and you know, many of us felt stuck in the land of indecision and uncertainty, right? And they're not sure how to move forward because of this ongoing global pandemic. As a friend asked me yesterday, how do you lead a productive, healthy life despite the virus, right? For me, I know it's like, how do you make plans when the ground is shifting rapidly? And what we
I have Quentin's phone number, yes.
Oopsie, if you can mute yourself, it would be wonderful.
Frank?
Neil?
Oh, yeah, I have his number.
Thank you.
Got it.
Awesome. Yeah. We've been conditioned to look outside of ourselves for leadership and direction. And sometimes we have really good, leaders that we can depend on. But even in the best of times when we do, what we know for sure is that when you connect with the power within you and you let that direct your choices and your decisions, that's what fuels sustainable, meaningful, fulfilling success. And so we know that connecting with your why, having that clarity of purpose, is deeply grounding and stabilizing. And we all need to be grounded and stable right now because the world is changing so rapidly, daily, right? There's so much misinformation, which is what creates this sense of uncertainty and unsure. And so to find that within you, that's what we advocate. Purpose is a driving force and it can create forward momentum. And that is what so many of us are looking for right now. So what we do is, we want to share a little bit with you. We're going to help you today. We're going to talk about why purpose is important. And we want to share with you our purpose here at Helen Macmillan Coaching, right? We're very clear. We are here and are desiring and are fueled and passionate and excited and joyful about serving ambitious multicultural leaders and helping them to achieve what we call uncompromised success. And what is that, right? Uncompromised success is success that is meaningful and fulfilling to you, that is defined by you, not by your societal or familial or cultural conditioning. It's based on the clarity of who you are, what you want to experience, and the difference you want to make in the world. What's the impact you want to have? So, there's a saying that if you don't have your own agenda, you'll end up on someone else's. And I found that to be absolutely true. So let's talk a little bit about purpose, like what we want to define, what we mean when we say purpose, right? You know, there's your purpose. It's your intention or your objective. It's the impact you want to have on something or someone, right? So you have a purpose. I've asked you to share, like, what's your purpose for being here today? Why was this meaningful to you? And, you know, some of the comments in the, thank you for putting your comments in, that you need clarity, you need a lot, especially now. You want to be sure about something, yes. You want to, someone else wants to further solidify the healing work we've been doing. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, awesome. I've been feeling more balanced and clear recently and wanted to further this direction strongly. We love that, because the thing about purpose is that it's all, it evolves and it's refined and clarified further and further as we evolve, right? So it's not a one and done. I've known my purpose for a long time. It still evolves, and as the evolution is more of a refinement, right? Someone else says, learning how to move forward from here in times of great uncertainty. Absolutely. Someone else says, clarity of purpose feels like a missing piece for going forward in joy and peace without self-blame and self-condemnation. Absolutely. Yes, John, you know, you used to care for your parents, such a clear purpose, but now it's true, right? So sometimes that's why the purpose has to evolve as our life evolves, right? I'm presuming that your parents either are no longer here, right? Exactly. So we love this. This is why it's an important conversation, and clarity of purpose absolutely gives you a sense of focus. So what is purpose? Yeah, it's your intention and your observe. Yes, Matthew wants to. Yes, I'm not allowing your voice. Go ahead, my love.
It's okay.
Thank you for.
No, what I wanted to say was it was an important conversation for us to have right now, especially as we sought direction and we understood clearly that it's a discussion that not many people were invited to have at any point in their lives. I know personally, the times that purpose has been brought up has been in a religious context, or what's your purpose as an insult, or I'm trying to figure out, why are you even here in my life, right? What's your purpose? But in terms of actually taking the time to explore what it is that you want to do and how you want to be impactful, how you want to be out in the world, what impact do you want to make, that I didn't get the chance to do that until I went into the dream coaching work with Helen. And even then, to develop further as I grew within coaching, within life, my purpose started to become clearer. And I have found a renewed sense of direction by refining my own purpose. And so that's why we're really excited to have this conversation today, because the clarity of what's next is, why do we even choose what's next without reminding ourselves of the impact that we want to have, right? And that's what we want to ask you, no matter what you're choosing, whether next for you is, what's the next month going to look like, what's the next year, what's next is different for everyone, right? We're not talking about necessarily huge life decisions, but it is whatever it is that you are desiring for you next, meaning not right now, but within the next few moments. So just want to clarify that. And as Helen was saying, it's interesting because we wanted to talk about clarity of purpose, which is different for us than a sense of purpose. So a sense of purpose for us, most people are born, as we grow up, we have a general feeling of the impact that we want to have. So for example, I always knew I wanted to help people feel better. Actually, I just knew I wanted to help people. And that was whether it was as a doctor, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a psychologist, and then I went in, I want to be a politician, Jamaica's prime minister. I wanted to help people. Definitely not that right now, but still living on purpose. As I continued to grow and contemplate what it is that actually makes Matthew happy, I started to get clarity of purpose. I started to refine this help people and become a lot more specific with how I wanted to help people. How Matthew wanted to help people is different than how Helen will help people, or John, or Michelle, or Gail. So
Yeah.
it is within me focusing on purpose, I started to move from the sense of purpose, the clarity of purpose, which is the fuel now for how I plan the next level for myself.
And just to clarify further the difference between sense of purpose, right? Sense of purpose, as Matthew says, is more general. It's, you have an idea or a direction, but with no specificity, right? Of the target or the outcome or the exact what. The clarity of purpose, it's more specific and refined. So as we said, that becomes more and more refined as you know yourself more, as you live longer, as you have more experiences, because it's knowing how your unique experiences, your unique talents and strengths combine to create a specific impact or outcome, right? So for example, a sense of purpose might be, as Matthew said, I want to help people. Whereas a clarity of purpose might sound for him like, I want to help people express themselves more freely. So it's that refinement. And so we're here about this clarity of purpose. And why is that important? Because it becomes part of your why, your agenda, as it were. And if you don't have your own, you end up on someone else's. So that's how we end up doing what I call climbing the wrong tree, right? Because, so for example, and it doesn't, there's no really right or wrong, right? But it's broad versus clear and direct. And the more clear and direct and refined and pinpointed you are, the more powerful it is, just like a beam of light, right? So, and you may go, I remember my youngest, from he was little, his teachers were like, that boy should be a lawyer. He's going to be a lawyer when he grows up, because he has the gift of gab and he can talk you. And believe me, I confirm he really should be. But what is he studying? He's studying business. So he gets to define and refine as he gets older. But sometimes the world looks at you, certainly when my parents were younger, there were very few options as to what you wanted to do with your life and how you wanted to serve, right? And so it was kind of doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, right? As we say. So now we have that much more choice and we are able to be more specific, and it's a lot easier. So since we have the ability, then absolutely, why not make use of it? And I believe that this is part of how COVID is here to help us. I always say COVID is not here for a shift. COVID is here for transformation, which means it's going to hang around till we get it. And so that and with every challenge comes opportunity. So one of the huge opportunities here is that a lot of things are being taken away. A lot of distractions, a lot of options are no longer available. So it's kind of like, okay, now that we've refined it, what are you going to pick? And how do you find your power in it?
It's so interesting that you say that, Helen, because what we were discussing earlier also with why we're so acutely focused on purpose right now was that the people that are feeling lost, that are feeling this sense of, I don't know where I want to go or what I want to do. Even the people that have job opportunities to go back to are questioning, I don't know if I want to be doing this anymore. And it's because many of the people that we work with lack this thing called fulfillment. This great big word that we kind of, we know what it means, but we really don't know what it means until we actually have it. And it's this inner joy that comes, this sustainable overflowing joy that comes from actually doing something that you want to do. You in just doing it, it fuels you. And we found that without purpose, especially within what you're doing for work, what you're doing for other people, you can be hugely successful. You can hit every target, but it just doesn't feel great within you. And this is the thing that, as clients come to us with this feeling, it's about refining, well, are you actually climbing the right tree? I know that we said there is no right or wrong tree, but there are the trees that we want to climb and the trees that someone has told us to climb. And the tree that someone tells us to climb, we can show them that we climb it really well, but we don't really enjoy it. And the purpose for me, and I think a lot of our clients, to living is to be in joy. I don't know if anybody came here to experience just turmoil, but to experience more joy and more experiences of joy, and to keep exploring that. So for us, that's why it's really important, is that especially right now, as you're saying, COVID is a time for transformation. The question is, how do you want to transform your life? And transformation is radical changes over a period of time. And what we want to invite you to do is, let's change in the direction that you want to go in.
And I would say not only is transformation radical over time, it's literally sustainable. It's about transformation is sustainability. It's not just I shift here and then I shift back over there. It is sustainable change. That's what transformation is, right? And so it's very key. The reason we're coming through the lens and the doorway of purpose is because it again, as Matthew says, it leads to the deeper fulfillment, the deeper sense of meaning, right? And also it's we want to spend our time and energy working towards something that is actually meaningful. And when you do that, when you have a clear clarity of purpose, it also gives you a sense of direction and focus. Again, exactly what we are needing right now. So the invitation, right, the opportunity is to take the time to refine, clarify. If whether you know your purpose or not, it's a deepening. I've known my purpose for a long time. The invitation has been go deeper, refine. And that's where that's what's giving me a sense of direction, a sense of grounding, a sense of focus, and more joy, really, because it's really challenging. I'm an empath, and many of you who are here are empaths also, which means that you're very highly sensitive. So you're going to feel everything that's happening and more, or you're going to shut down and numb yourself, right? One of the two, to cope. And the whole point is we want you to be able to stay open, because when you're open, there's more presence, and you are the gift you came to give the world. So we want you fully present. So how does this sense of purpose fuel the sustainability? It actually makes you more secure. It makes you more certain. It makes you more passionate, more engaged, more connected. And it sets you up with a solid foundation within yourself to align your choices, your decisions, your actions, again, with what is truly meaningful and fulfilling to you. Because we're here to help you have a life of joy and meaning and passion and purpose, because we know you show up. Happy people make for a happy world, and I want to live in a happy world. I don't know about you. So we want to invite you to think for a moment. Just take a moment and ask yourself, am I clear on my purpose for this next level? Do I know what I want? Have you taken this time that COVID slowed us way, way down? We're not as slow as we were 3 months ago when we were actually on quarantine, right? And stay-at-home orders. We now have a greater freedom of movement. Did you take that time and that stillness to get clear on what it is you want now? What is it that is that you enjoyed about slowing down? What is it that you want to add back to your life, and what do you not want to add back? What purpose did the whole experience serve for you? And how do you want this next level to serve? How do you want to be? What do you want to, what do you want to create? Because this is the other thing about purpose. You get to choose. You get to decide. There are clues that life leads you about your own unique purpose, right? But for all intents and purposes, you get to choose. I can't say that enough. So let me just check in here for a minute.
Now,
Yes, Matthew.
as they are contemplating that, I think it's really important, this idea of you get to choose, because I remember one of the only times that I've heard purpose spoken about in more frequently was in a religious context, and within a divine purpose that's been passed on to you, and trying to figure that out. And I often found that that was useful for some, but it left me feeling powerless, like I was searching for something that someone had hidden from me. And we come at purpose from a slightly different perspective. We're not rejecting religion, but we're also embracing the fact that purpose is within you and therefore of you, and so is not hidden. It just takes focus on specific things. And I know that for me personally, it does take to get a sense of purpose. I think everyone comes with it. And first layer of clarity of purpose, some people have been living this already. If you've been on this earth for over 20 years, you've already probably been living your purpose in some way, right? The great thing about clarifying what that purpose is that you then get to be more intentional about it. You then get to choose how you engage it in the different situations. And I love Mary putting it here that purpose is mainly spoken about at work. We're talking about taking purpose and allowing it to decide all the different levels of your life experiences. So, for example, if I take my purpose for myself is to help people express themselves authentically and freely, I take that into my acting coaching. I'm there, and it helps me understand the power of the work that I do with the actor versus what James might do with the actor, or Mary, or someone else. And I am more solid in representing the value of what I bring to the table, because my purpose is very different than your purpose or the next person's purpose. So I do that with the actor, and I also do it with my clients. This is one of the ways that my purpose drives the difference between my coaching style and Helen's coaching style, and what we value and what we do, which is why together we bring both of our purposes, and it's dynamite in a different way, and we can be so individual. Purpose really helps you refine and define yourself so you stand out. So if you're looking for that change in your life, in terms of job, in terms of standing out amongst friends and family, and looking for your place, purpose is a great foundational place to start, because that's the thing that helps. I find that purpose is your heart speaking to you, your heart speaking intention and objective. Is when you satisfy the heart, your entire body sings. And that is the thing that we would love to spread through the work that we do, is that we really want more heart-centered leaders. We want to invite that to the forefront where it hasn't been celebrated as much in the past. We have been, even before COVID, entered a time where we're shifting focus. where knowledge, wisdom rises from. And I think one of the most powerful things we can do is align with the intention of our hearts and start to lead a heart-centered life and see how fulfilling, joyful, loving that can be, because we've already experienced the head focused life already.
Yeah. Yes, and especially, I think that is what we're being invited into, is even co-creating a new form of leadership that I like to think of as integrative leadership, where we take the best of both our divine masculine and feminine, our not just divine, but our masculine and feminine qualities. We women have tried to model male leadership. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for us. It's not sustainable. And men, the model of leadership that they have followed doesn't work for all of them either, especially if you tend to be a sensitive man, right? A man who is very in touch with his whole self, right? And is conditioned and raised differently. So it is the thing about the clarity of purpose is being true to you, being true to you. And for so many reasons, that is vital, because that's the only way anything is sustainable. We can pretend, that fake it till you make it, right? We've been taught to do that, and you can do it for a while. I remember years ago, many years ago, when I had my complementary wellness center in Jamaica, and I had a client, and she was on my massage table one day, and having a complete meltdown. It's wonderful when you work with the body to release the emotions that we hold trapped and the tension. And she said to me, I have been married for 6 years. And she said, when I met my husband, I knew exactly who he was looking for and what he was looking for and who I needed to be for him. She said, and I've done it for 6 years, but I can't do it anymore. It's too tiring. When we are not living on purpose, when we are not living in alignment with the truth of who we are, it's tiring to keep those facades up. It's tiring. It's exhausting. And so many times, a client will come to a session and they'll go, oh my God, I'm so tired. I said, did you not sleep well last night? No, actually I slept good. I had 8 hours of sleep. And then I go, well, let's look at what's really draining your energy, right? And inevitably it's some kind of misalignment. So you set yourself up for success when you do this work, lay a solid foundation. So we want to invite you to tune in and ask yourself, am I ready to have some support to do the work, to have a container? We create these containers, our intensives, our shift breakthrough intensives are a container where we invite people in to do different work. The theme this time is next level, and we are focusing on achieving your next level through exploring, clarifying, and refining your purpose, and setting a solid foundation and plan for your next, whatever it may be, your next month, your next 3 months, your next year, how you are going to navigate through this time powerfully, intentionally, consciously, right? And not have to give your power away to COVID or the current leadership in your country, wherever that may be, or whatever it may be. Because the truth is that we have to learn. We don't know when it's going away. We don't know where it's going. We don't know. We do know. What I know for sure is everything serves. And so it's about asking powerful questions and getting powerful answers from the most powerful part of you, which is not your fearful self. Right? So
and what is exactly to what you were saying, that COVID, we don't know what's happening with it, where it's going, how it's going. But the invitation we're really excited to share and to get people to implement is living their next level now. How do we start, rather than waiting and working towards something in the distance, how do we bring that next level to you faster with greater ease and grace, right? Because there's a great thing where we're all about clarity, focus, and planning, and giving your body, your soul, the experience of what you desire now. So that's what we're excited to bring to you as you clarify your purpose and start to develop a vision for being more impactful, is also implementing it within your world in a timely manner right now.
So our next, the virtual intensive is October the 9th to the 11th. Every time we do it, we expand, we improve, we take the feedback. And so this time this is the third time we usually do these live. We've done them for many, many years. And we pivoted like everybody else, and we started doing them virtually back in April. We did one in April and one at the end of May. And one of the things that we decided to try this time is to break it up over 3 days instead of doing 2 long days. And so the format has changed a little bit this time, and we're excited to try it out. That's what we do. We try, we test. What we're not testing is the impact that we're going to have. That impact is consistent. What we are testing is we're going to do so on Friday, the 9th of October, it's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. All day Saturday, which is what we normally do, which is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do have breaks, we have lunch, we have all kinds of ways of keeping people engaged. And then on Sunday, it'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So 2 half days and a full day, which works out to 2 days, but we're just breaking it up because it's hard to sit at the computer for so long. And this work is deep work. So we want you to be able to be as present and as engaged as possible. And so we have a couple of, will there be crying, John says. I'm gonna let someone, let's see, who's on that's been before? Sean.
Don't ask.
Can you answer
Sean,
that?
usually.
Some people do cry. It's not a cry fest, is how I would put it. We certainly do feel that all emotions are welcome, the full range. And I personally know that research has shown that tears contain huge amounts of toxins. So whether it's happy tears, sad tears, whatever it may be, it's a way of the body releasing and expressing. So we actually applaud when people give themselves permission and feel so safe and free to express on that level. So. Yes, Mary says she loves the ability to cry as a release. I embrace my ability to cry. Yes, so do I. Yes, Sean says, yes, there are tears sometimes, always healing tears, and tears from laughter. We laugh a lot. I think in May we laughed the most we've ever laughed. People commented on it. It was so interesting. So yes. Are there any other questions? The laughter is the best medicine. Yes, Mary says we both remind her to laugh even more. I love it. That's true. So yes, one of the gifts, we each have our strengths and our gifts. And I know that one of the gifts that I bring is to create safe, sacred space. Space where people feel a sense of relaxation and freedom to be able to be themselves, whatever that self is. And so I think that's one of the very unique things about our events, is that people really do feel a sense of connection and a sense of safety very quickly, which is why we can move through things very quickly as well. So, thank you, Mary. Yes, you do. You do create safe, sacred space. Thank you. Yes, Mary has been to quite a few, several of our intensives. So yes, we are very grateful that there are people who come over and over again. There are people who come to each and every one that we have. And that's because that's one of the other things I'm very proud of, is that the core of our work, the essence does not change, of our message, of what we teach, the foundational principles. But like everything else, you learn through repetition, it anchors in and goes deeper. You know, when you first learn a concept, it might be land in your energy field, and then you might actually take it in here. Our job is to get it in here, into your heart, into your body, because when you've embodied a principle, a concept, a message, then it becomes a lived experience. So if you look in the, Shelby has be so kind. Shelby, for those of you who don't know Shelby, you can wave. Shelby is our right hand, my right hand here, our operations coordinator and our client happiness coordinator here at Helen Macmillan Coaching. So yes, so the informational page, we want to put the link into the chat box as well. And Matthew has brought it up. Oh, very good English. Yes. Excellent. I do coin words all the time. Matthew brought it up on the screen here. So this is what you'll find at the link that Shelby just popped into the thing. So if you want it at your leisure, go through and read more about it. What I will say is the sales page is there for information for your head. Make the decision from your heart, from your body. Your mind will lie like a rug. It will come up with excuses. Your mind is the part of you that feels the kind of fear that is what we call false evidence appearing real. And so it is, we want your mind and your heart to work together ideally, right? We're not disabusing, you know, we love the mind. It's important, the brain. However, yeah, it like I said, it feels the false evidence of appearing real kind of fear. So feel into it. Feel into it. My son is trying to get through the door. Feel into it and ask yourself. And if it's if there's curiosity and you have questions, reach out. There's a link on that page where you can schedule a call. But we can find out more. We can help you to get clarity on if this is for you. And if there is, if you know it's for you, you can go ahead and register. Right now, it is $497, which is our early bird pricing. That goes away after September 10th. And then the price increases by $300 to $797. And whether you come in at $497 or $797, it's still an amazing, amazing investment. So you will know. I don't know about you, but you know, when I know something is for me, if I can get it for less, I'm going to have it. I'm going to jump on a deal. So that is why we have that available. We also like fast decision makers. We like people who can feel into something and say yes to it. And the other piece is that when you say yes, and make the commitment, as in put your money where your mouth is and register, your shift begins. We hear this all the time. There are people who register months in advance, and if they're paying attention, they will see that the shift actually begins before the actual day. And then you just go deeper, right, during the weekend. So.
And I wanted to clarify that if it's not clear already, we are taking the time to really allow you to explore purpose in dynamic ways. We're really bringing our creativity to the forefront and imagination so that it is a fun exploration, because purpose can feel heavy and, oh my God, I need to figure out what my life means. We're not there for that. We're there for you to connect with the joy, and from that place of joy, find some clarity. So if that's exciting to you and you're excited to get that clarity and spend the time to vision and go on the creative holding space and allowing your heart and your soul to show you what kind of life you want to create for the next few months, years, then this is the place for you. We're really excited to work with the people that are no longer committed to the cycle they've been taught, that are willing to step up and really go, actually, I'm ready for something different. All of our clients, everyone that's been to the shift, and the people that have signed on to go on transformational journeys with us have been the really great, courageous souls that they step out of the cycle. And if that is you, if you have that inkling that's going, oh my God, yeah, I'm ready, but there's still fear, contact us. We're here to have that free conversation to help you figure out if this is the right time for you, if this is the right event for you. Also, if you know anyone that it might be useful to them, to take that time to refine purpose. Because we know not many people are having the conversation. People tell you, yeah, go find your purpose. But to actually sit there, spend time with 2 coaches in over 3 days, that's very rare. So if that's for someone within your life, if the light bulb goes off that you're like, oh my gosh, this person really just needs this sense of grounding within themselves and direction, then feel free to give them the page so that they can contact us so we have a free conversation. We really love having conversations with people to help them get clarity even before they sign up for events with us, because we only want what's best for your soul and for your life. So definitely, please feel free to pass it along. It's not precious information. It's here to be shared. That's why we're having this wonderful conversation with you guys now. So does anyone have any questions? I want to open it up to you guys. Questions about purpose and your next level, or anything that is burning within you right now.
And Matthew, maybe you unshare your screen and we can see everybody at the same time. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So yeah, questions, questions, comments, feedback. Hi, Christine. Nice to see your face. You were saying that your shift has begun. Christine was probably the first person to register way back in May? June, whatever. Yeah. Whoops, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, you made a point about, that for some people the shift may have already begun and they don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I did sign up, and I do see, I do feel as though I am sort of a lot more clear about what my purpose is and trying to live into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to October.
Yay! We're looking forward to it too. Yay! Any other questions, comments, feedback? What did you hear in what we spoke about today that landed for you, that you enjoyed, or that, like Christine said, made her think? We always love to hear feedback.
And key takeaways.
Yes, Gail.
Is anybody sharing, or can I share?
No, you. Yeah, I just called on you. Yeah.
Okay. I have construction. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on a construction site, which is my house. I'm loving it.
Change is good.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I just wanted to say that when you guys were speaking and asking that question, because this year for me has been about, well, it's under here somewhere, clarity, confidence, and courage. Yes, thank you, Helen. And so when you kept talking about clarity and clarity and clarity of purpose and the difference with sense of purpose, first of all, that's very important because I didn't quite get that, because you kind of think you know, and then it's kind of, so it's all sort of very vague still. So what I would say to you is that I wrote down a 7-point thing while yourself and Matthew were talking about my purpose, and I wrote beside it Gail's purpose, define it GB. And so I went through a 7-point thing of just really digging deep, really refining it, getting to the essence of what, oh my goodness, I hope you guys aren't hearing me.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
So it's just that I would say to you, this call just on its own has kind of stirred me and made me think, oh, I need to continue on this path. And it is so important because a lot of us don't define, we don't know how to define our purpose, or we think we know, should I say. We think we know, and then we really just don't. So your point about, are you climbing the right tree? I've climbed a lot of trees. I know for sure I shouldn't have climbed some of them. Shelby, you're laughing at me, but it's really true. I guess many of us have climbed the wrong tree. And
Well,
then
I don't know if it's wrong, right? You know, I teach about good, bad, right, wrong, right? That's all judgment, and we want to release that. However, in life, we can take, a scenic route. There are many ways to get from A to B, right? Some routes are more direct. Some routes are more colorful and, the scenic route. Some routes, so it's up to you. That's the whole point. You get to choose. And I believe that every tree you've climbed up to now has taught you something. And so everything
absolutely
served. It has
absolutely
served.
The other thing that I thought
as we get older, Gail, since you and I are in the same category, as we get older, then we actually, want to use the time that we have more effectively and more efficiently. And at this stage, we're kind of looking more about legacy, and we become more intentional and purposeful. Whereas when we're younger, we have more time to spend at the buffet tasting this one and that one. And as we get older.
That is very true. And also, I would say Matthew's point about, it's like you're not a victim. Right after Matthew spoke, I said, I am the CEO of my own life. I'm not a victim. And so, but without having that purpose and setting your own agenda, you can fall. You can sort of be the default victim. You didn't really mean to be, but it's almost like a default setting. And who wants to, just be put on a default setting, which is someone else's agenda? So I would say that those points resonated for me.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Gail. Love that.
Thank you.
Love that.
Sean. I see your
Yes.
hand raised.
Hello. That is my hand raised. There we go. You asked for takeaways. My takeaway is I didn't know that you could take a broad purpose and refine it. That blew my mind. I was like, I can refine that shit? What do you mean? All right, how do I refine it? So now I'm going to start compiling a little thing before our intensive of how do I want to refine it? How should I go about refining it? And all that type of fun stuff. But yeah, I didn't realize that you could refine something like that. It was a foreign concept to me. It didn't quite register, and it took a few minutes after you said refining that purpose. I was like, oh yeah, refinement, that's cool. And then it was oh shit, all right. So yeah,
as we refine, it's really deepening, right? It's
right.
It's just like you learn a concept, and it's like a concept, and then the more that you experience it, work with it, play with it, whatever, it deepens. And
right.
It's even like a specific message. That's how you can read a book, right? And you'll get a surface level, and then you maybe read it again, you get, oh, I didn't notice that. Or a painting, right? I really into painting. You're like, you look at it and you're like, great. And then you go back and you look again and you're like, wow. And it's simply what's happening. Is it that, now you see something else? Is it because you're looking at it at a different day, so you are different? Your perspective
Right.
is different. Like, so
Right.
it makes sense, right? Life is
Right.
just
Or someone else giving you perspective.
exactly. Right.
Blind spots and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's so yeah, now you have piqued my interest.
Ah, I love it.
Now I'm even further committed to this intensive. Exciting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So for those of you who are not yet registered, and if you have questions, remember you can reach out. You can ask them here. If you're listening to the replay and you have questions, you can email support@helenmacmillan.com, HelenMacmillan.com, and you just say, I want to have a conversation, and we can, Shelby efficiently just put the email in there in the chat box as well. But it'll also be on the recording for those of you who did not join us live. And just put in the subject matter conversation about the shift or about the intensive. So we have a few more minutes if you have questions, comments, feedback.
Gail GW shared, I have a sense of purpose, but not clarity. Lately, I've been experiencing a deeper connection and lots of different areas of exploration, which makes me have intention ADHD. I love it.
Which is a good time to refine. So like for me, and I see your hand, John, I'm coming right to you.
Okay.
For me, years ago as a dream coach, as I was learning to become a dream coach, we had to go through the body of work, which was, and a big part of it is Marsha Reeder's work. And a big part of it is actually defining your purpose, right? Clarifying your purpose. And I remember years before when I was a born again Christian, I call that my born again Christian phase of my life. I remember badgering God, like, I want to know my purpose. Tell me my purpose. What is my purpose? I want to live on purpose. So tell me my purpose. 8 months of, I'm serious. Like, I'm like a dog with a bone when I get something. I want to know, I go after it. And I remember hearing, I'm clairaudient, right? For those of you you hear information, I'm also clairsentient. I'll have the knowing. But I heard very clearly, your purpose is what you do every day. It's everything that you do every day. And I was like, what? What kind of answer is that? A very unfulfilling answer. I waited 8 months for that. And I've lived into that. So when I was introduced to the dream coaching work, and we actually had a system for quantifying and clarifying my purpose, I was like, yes, because I wanted something specific. And my purpose, we speak about purpose in the dream coaching work, as Matthew said earlier. It's not what you came here to do. It's who you came here to be. And it made perfect sense to me, because when you understand your unique purpose, as in who I came here to be, then you being that, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You do that as you be that as you do whatever the heck you want to do. Right? So for me, my unique life purpose is to embody joy and truth. I so happen to help others do the same. But the other thing is, when you understand that and you have that alignment, when you hit on it, it kind of goes click. There's something in you that just knows. It just feels right. And life leaves you clues. Life leaves you clues. So my early life experiences involved a lot of pain. And I was not true to myself, because I, like most of us, was conditioned to be certain things, to do certain things, right? To be a good girl, to be a good student, to succeed in life. And most of it comes from being guided, right? To your parents' society. They want you to succeed, right? They want the best for you. So it comes from a place, a loving intention, right? But it's often fueled by fear. If you don't have, if you're not a good citizen, you'll end up in jail, right? If you don't have an education, you may not be able to support yourself, okay? So overall, that clarity helps you to know also when you're off track, when you are not aligned with your truth. So I experienced a lot of pain. So I have an appreciation for joy that I could not have. And I will not give up my joy for anyone or anything. So it gives you that focus, that sense of purpose, that foundation. And that is what we want to help you to find. And I've just refined mine even further. So yes, Sean, all about refinement. Well,
John.
Yes,
John
John.
had his hand up.
Yes, John had a question.
So the thing I heard was the best answers come from the part of you that's not afraid.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So that's really
Fear
interesting.
literally makes us stupid. Like literally it reduces your IQ. They've shown that, right? It's not our most creative. We go into our hindbrain instead of this more evolved part of our brain. So yeah, and that's why we create that environment of safety and of fun and of laughter and of joy, because that's where you're vibrating high and your breakthroughs and your answers and your clarity come so much easier. So if you're all about that, we encourage you to join us. Go to the link, find out more, reach out, sign up, and hopefully we'll see you on the 9th of October. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your time, your attention. Mwah.
Thank you.
Take care. We hope you're walking away with lots. Bye.
Bye-bye.